Hi, I'm Brandon, and I'm back to do a commentary on Thomas Shin from the New Jersey Sting. His screen name is Shinster007, and it kind of makes me wonder if we see later, in this video here, he comes across as very beta. He's a very weak kind of guy. So I wonder if he just idolizes someone like James Bond, who's like his ideal man. So he just wants to be cool like James Bond. So he calls himself 007 to hide the insecurities of how he really comes across. But let's jump into this. This footage is pretty terrible. I couldn't really find any better stuff, but it's the best we can use for now.
With cream, and he said other surprises.
During our investigations, we find potential predators can be pretty generous.
Yeah, and he's got a pita bag there. In his chat log, if I remember correctly, he talks fairly quickly near the beginning with a decoy about like what animals they own, what kind of pets they had when they were kids, or that kind of thing. So he's obviously an animal lover. But if he thinks that makes him some kind of great person, that he loves animals, and he's here doing something like this. Which kind of a side note, but a very strange thing I saw the other day. I was on kind of a bit busy street here. I was going into a restaurant, and on the corner there was like some sort of protest going on. And when we walked by, there's people holding signs, and this one, you can tell it was like a woman, and wearing a Guy Fawkes mask, like from V from Vendetta. And she was holding a sign that said, "Stop speciesism." And there's other people holding up cardboard cutouts about animal rights and that kind of stuff. And I was like, aren't people kind of getting a bit carried away with what they're protesting? I mean, most people love animals. I like animals too, but I don't see what exactly they're protesting. I mean, animals don't have the same rights as people because they're not human. So I don't know what rights they want for their animals. I just thought that was really stupid that people were crowding an intersection and making a big deal about something like that. But anyways, Thomas Shin here just reminded me of that.
Hey, how are you?
Good.
Glad you can make it.
This man is a regular Santa Claus.
What'd you bring me?
I got the strawberries.
And he just comes, like, is that his real voice, or is he trying to put on a very friendly, kind of higher pitched voice so he doesn't come across as intimidating? Like, maybe that's his way of, well, being predatory for one, but of trying to weasel his way into girls or women's lives is by just being so non-threatening that he just talks almost like a girl. Like, his voice is almost higher pitched than Casey's here. Like, it just seems like, I don't know, kind of make you cringe if this guy was around and always talking like that. It's like, try to sound like a man at least. I don't know if he's faking that, but he, like, I generally, I've said this before, I generally don't like the whole, alpha, beta, sigma male kind of thing. I think it's quite dumb. But sometimes there's no better way to describe what the kind of person is, and there's no way that this guy's anything other than beta.
Oh, perfect.
Yeah. And here's the surprise.
But it might, like, in his predatory mind, it might work, because he does come across as non-threatening. If you were in a room with this guy or anywhere with him, you would not be threatened by him in a second. You probably wouldn't even really just ignore him, because he's not a threat, and that almost makes him more threatening, because you wouldn't expect him to do something like this. He just seems so weak that you would kind of almost, like, you'd push him out of your mind, and you wouldn't suspect that he's doing this kind of thing behind the scene.
And here's the surprise.
A surprise? Oh, thanks.
You like koala bears?
Yeah.
Oh, it's like a koala bear stuffed animal. So maybe that's his ploy. A lot of the predators bring something. It's usually food or alcohol that they bring. Thomas here just comes with a whole bunch of stuff. He might be one of the only ones I can think of that actually brings presents, like gifts. And is that in his mind he's going to, like, buy their affection? Like, he's going to show up and buy them a bunch of crap, and then they owe him something in return?
Oh, thanks.
You like koala bears?
Yeah, thank you.
He's 36-year-old Thomas.
Yeah, and he lied in his chat log and told her that he was 22, which is also illegal. so I don't know why he lied about that. He just thought maybe he's probably like a lot of the guys. He thinks that if she found out how old he really was, like it would scare her off. Whereas 22 is older, but it's not a lot older, at least in his mind. But he did lie about his age. He's really 36.
Shin here to meet the 12-year-old girl he was chatting with online.
And if I remember correctly, he said in his chat log that he was going back to school or something to become a lawyer. Like, he really should have done some more prep work with that and research the law so that he would know that what he's doing here is illegal.
It's really a decoy from perverted justice.
Oh, wow.
He wanted to give me a high five,
Wow.
but I kind of completely dissed him, and he was like,
That's I kind of love it when the decoys, they just get in that little jab at the predators, kind of like when when Nervous Nelly refused to hug Jeff Sokol or John Doopy. It's just kind of just a little bit of a smack in the face to humiliate them and give them what they deserve.
completely dissed him, and he was like, oh, okay, maybe not.
Using the screen name Shinster007, he talks about kissing her passionately and guesses what that might lead to.
Kiss you down your neck, undress you, and caress your sweet breasts, and kiss them too.
And yeah, this guy's chat log was... I can't make up my mind if it's more disgusting or less disgusting than the others. He doesn't go as much into the graphic sexual stuff. It's mostly about dripping things on her and licking things off of her and passing strawberries in their mouths and very creepy stuff. But it's weird. Not all of the other predators talk about that kind of stuff. They're more about the blatantly obvious sexual stuff. It just seems like Thomas got all his ideas from reading romance novels or something. It's all very weird, creepy stuff that I don't think a lot of people actually do in real life. Me, I mean, it's fine if you're in a non-predatory relationship. You can really do whatever you want, but it's just strange that he's one of the few that chose that path where he just wants to do all this weird stuff with her. Where he avoids a lot of the more blatantly sexual stuff. It doesn't make it any better. It's still, it's just as disgusting. It's still, he's putting his mouth and hands all over her. That's what he wants to do. So, still terrible.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
I think it comes across with the whole persona he's putting on of wanting to be a really sweet guy. So he probably knows what he wants to do. His intentions are to do every sick thing imaginable to her, but he wants to, at least initially, up until it happens, he wants to come across as this really nice, sweet guy. So all of the sexual things he wants to do are, stuff that are in a really cheesy, I wouldn't say a rom-com movie, because even they wouldn't do stuff like, dropping strawberries on them, whatever the hell Thomas wants to do here.
I'd get undressed too.
And he's got more surprises for our decoy.
And I brought a, DVD, because there's some singer-song here that I think you might like.
Yeah, the footage is so bad here, I can't even see what that is. Maybe, I don't know if it's some sort of live concert or something, or it's maybe a compilation video of music videos. I'm not sure, but he says there's some singers you might like, so I don't know if it just seems yeah, a lot of the guys want to just get down to it, whereas Thomas seems to want to shower her with presents that he brings, and then mutual interests that they might discover together. I think he's really trying to play up that he's a sweet guy just trying to be a friend kind of angle, but we could tell I think he was just too shy to be direct with her. But in his mind, he was probably imagining all sorts of terrible things. He just didn't have the balls to come out and say it. But it's kind of what he even says coming up. Well, he'll say a line that indicates what he eventually plans to do.
Oh, cool.
Yeah.
But there was something he didn't bring.
And it's kind of funny, Casey doesn't look scared of him at all. She's almost the same size as him. She's probably the more scary and threatening of the two, if it really came down to it.
He says he will on his next visit.
Did you bring any condoms or anything?
I was thinking, today we should definitely, kind of get to know each other a little bit more, and then definitely next time I could bring them.
Yeah, so exactly. Like, so maybe this time he plans to, like I've said before, like a lot of predators, I think they don't want to do anything or some of them at least don't want to do anything the first time because they're so paranoid of being caught. They want to make sure it's a safe situation before they follow through with it. And here Thomas basically says exactly that. He doesn't want to do that this time because he even mentions in his chat about the To Catch a Predator show, so he knows that's a possibility. So he probably wants to play innocent, play the nice guy friend here. But then he says, like, yeah, I'll bring the condoms next time. So that totally blows what he just said out of the water, because it doesn't matter if you want to have sex with her on the second visit. It's like just as bad. So like, yeah, he's not a good guy. He just admitted his guilt right there.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
I wasn't sure, All right, well, I'm going to go get myself something to drink. I'll be right back, okay?
All right.
And wouldn't that be... I know these guys' minds are elsewhere, but wouldn't that be kind of a red flag? Like, normally if you're hosting someone, you'd be like, do you want something to drink? You wouldn't say, I'm going to go step in the other room and get myself something to drink. You wait here. He doesn't. He just says, okay. It doesn't... his mind's obviously he's thinking about other stuff, but it is kind of an odd thing to say. Just going to back it up here.
All right, well, I'm going to go get myself something to drink. I'll be right back, okay?
All right.
Some strawberries and whipped cream and chocolates and stuffed animals. Oh, you got it all going on, don't you?
Oh, wow.
Oh, wow. That's a reaction. I wish this footage was clearer so we could see his face a bit better. But yeah, I bet you that Chris Hansen coming out struck some fear into Thomas Shin's heart.
Right over there, please. He says he's a court administrator for the state of New Jersey. And how old are you?
I'm 20.
Okay, he does two things there that kind of give away the lie. First, he swallows, he gulps, and then he says, me? If someone asks how old you are, well, the answer should be a number. Or you could say, I don't want to answer or something. But he says, me? I'm 24. Let's watch that again.
Administrator for the state of New Jersey. And how old are you?
I'm 24.
24. You sure about
that? And then he lowers his gaze. He can't even hold eye contact with someone while lying.
Yeah, you're probably going to check my ID, right? I'm 36, sir.
36. And how old is the girl you came to visit?
She said she was 12.
Oh, and yeah, like the 12-year-olds, I think those are like the youngest that they use on the show, or like they pretend the girls are, and that's just even like, it's all bad, obviously, but like every year you get younger, it just gets worse and worse. And just the fact that she claimed to be 12 and he wanted to do all that stuff to her, like, that completely negates any attempt of his to play nice guy, buying her koala bears and stuff. It's like someone that young, like, he's just as evil as, John Dupey and the rest of them.
Young enough to be your daughter.
Right.
Well, why are you even talking to a 12-year-old anyway?
I'm a very lonely guy.
Lonely.
Oh, there we go. I swear one of these days I'm going to make a list of just, like, what excuses each predator uses, and that is a common one. It's one we've heard before, and of course it's a very stupid excuse. It's like, if you're lonely, you could be not lonely by communicating or spending time with any person of any age. It doesn't have to be a 12-year-old. It's like hang out with your brother or your parents or friends, or go chat online with any adult. There's billions of adults in the world. There's things you could do. You could go down to a bar and then just sit around and start chatting with the regulars there, and you eventually make friends with them. You could look up friends you haven't seen in a while, or your cousins or aunts and uncles. Like, there's a million people that you can hang out with and not find yourself in this situation. And if you want it to be some sort of romantic or sexual thing, you have a lot of options there too. Most of them adults. Like, there's billions of adults in the world, and no matter where you live, there's all sorts of single adults. So the fact that he's lonely, but the only way he can solve his loneliness is by, initiating a predatory relationship with a 12-year-old girl, like, that is so beyond stupid. I don't know if, like, these guys in their own mind, they don't see the gap in the logic there, and they just decide, like, well, this is my reason for doing it, or do they just that's the best lie they could think of in the moment. I wonder if they actually think in their mind. Because, it's like, yeah, everyone knows what it's like to be lonely. It's like, yeah, sometimes there's nothing to do, and, you just kind of wish you're around someone. But there are outlets for that kind of feeling, and there's ways to solve it. And honestly, sometimes being lonely is fine. It happens to everyone. Sometimes you sit around on a Saturday night and there's nothing to do, so you watch TV, play video games, or do something, watch YouTube videos. There's nothing wrong with being lonely sometimes. It's a part of life, and then, you go through phases or whatever. You don't go and do something like this.
Yeah, I'm sorry.
There's no people your age.
I tried different personal sites, and it's just like they think I'm too short, or they think like an Asian guy's just gonna be like a nerd or a geek.
And like, yeah, that's a horrible excuse. Like, too short. He doesn't look that short. Like, he's maybe shorter than average, but there's millions of short men out there. It's like vast majority of them have had decent relationships before, so it's not like he's like 5'6", therefore he can't find an adult woman. That's ridiculous. There's guys that are like 5'1" that have wives. Like, it's not a huge deal. And like, yeah, and he's Asian, so they're gonna think he's a geek or a nerd. Like, that's a horrible stereotype coming from someone of that race. People think you're a nerd or a geek. It's gonna be based on your personality and based on your hobbies and interests and that kind of thing. It's not going to be based on your race. There's a lot of Asian people in the world, and a lot of them have perfectly fine non-predatory relationships. So, like, and not all of them, I would say the vast majority of them are not nerds or geeks. Unless he's on some sort of, whatever platform he's on is full of blatantly racist people or something. I don't see how he would have any more problem finding an adult mate than any other person, Asian or not, or short or not. Those are just like such stupid excuses. I wonder if he just kind of has that incel kind of mentality where he's such a beta wimpy loser that it probably comes across in everything he says. So obviously, like, women are just not going to give him a chance. But he, instead of reflecting on himself and realizing that it's his fault and it's his doing, he probably just blames them and makes up excuses in his own mind. It's probably because I'm too short. It's probably because I'm Asian. And then he just, gets angry at the women and thinks that that's the reason in his own mind. So that helps justify, but even then, it's like, wouldn't a 12-year-old think the same things about you? Or maybe he thinks that, like, a 12-year-old would be shorter, and they wouldn't care about his height. Yeah, I can't get inside of his mind, nor do I want to, but like, his excuses are just terrible.
So you figured you'd try another category?
Well,
the 12-year-old category. Now, what was your plan for the strawberries and whipped cream?
And you have a piece of strawberry in my mouth, and then she could
and have her do what?
Bite off of it. Or
bite off of it.
Right.
So you're going to kind of make out using the strawberries and the whipped cream.
Yeah, and he just does those annoying little groans. Like, he's obviously ashamed of himself and embarrassed, so he does those groans because he doesn't even know how to respond to it. And you can tell he's looking at the ground like that. He's definitely ashamed of himself, which he should be.
Kind of make out using the strawberries and the whipped cream with a 12-year-old girl. Okay, that was your plan, right?
Yeah.
Okay. He admits he thought it was strange chatting online with a girl so young. That's why he says he asked her if she'd ever seen the Dateline show.
Like I told her, I wasn't planning on any sex. That's why I didn't bring any condoms.
Well, not this visit.
We just heard him say, "I didn't bring them this time, but next time." So, like, you don't get a free pass there, Thomas.
But what if I hadn't been here and the 12-year-old girl was here and you all got along, you ate the strawberries and sprayed whipped cream on each other and,
Just groaning and groaning and groaning.
The strawberries and sprayed whipped cream on each other and, some clothes came off. What do you think would have happened?
Well, to be honest, I mean, not that it's right. I would have just made out. And told her,
We'll have to wait till next time when I have condoms.
Yeah, exactly. And that's still gross. Like, if you were a dad and came home and found this guy just licking whipped cream and, making out with strawberries with your daughter, like, you wouldn't catch any slack compared to, like, doing anything else. Like, it's just as gross. Like, in his mind, he's probably thinking, well, I don't have intentions to do all this more, like, advanced type sexual things. I just want to make out and lick strawberries off her and feel her up and all this stuff. So really, it's not as bad as some of the other predators. But yeah, it's still very, very gross.
Right. Well, you've seen the show, so you know that I'm Chris Hansen.
Right.
With Dateline NBC.
Right.
It's kind of funny how Thomas, when Chris Hansen says his name, Thomas looks up for a second, like to make brief eye contact with him, like right there.
In the show, so you know that I'm Chris Hansen.
Right.
With Dateline NBC.
Right.
And if there's anything else you'd like to tell him,
He waves at him.
now would be a good time. If not, you can take your stuff and go right out the door you came in.
And just like he's seen on TV, as he leaves the house and goes out the front door, police are waiting.
Police, hands up. Now stand up.
He just tries to get to his knees. And there we have it. That's Thomas Shin. Kind of wish that there was a longer video of him so we could, judge him and mock him a little bit more. But it was a nice short video. So yeah, thanks for watching, everyone. And let me know in the comments if there's anyone else you want me to do a commentary on, and I will add them to the list. Okay, bye for now.